Hi everyone. Today I'm going to tell you a very short story from Adi Parv and Markendaya Samasya Adhyay from Mahabharata. And the name of the story is The Fowler and the Brahmin or a Brahmin. And yes, out of all the stories in Mahabharata, this one is considered one of the best stories. And this is mainly based on duties. That means it explained so nicely what duty is. And probably because of that, Swami Vivekananda had told this story in one of his meetings. Well, let me begin. What the story is. There was a sannyasi whose name was Kausik. Kausik was a very learned fellow and he had taken vows and he did perform penances, hard penances. Now, every day he was reciting Vedas. One day he went to the forest and under a tree he sat there and started practicing his Vedas. At that time, a female crane was sitting on the branch of that same tree, and suddenly his excreta dropped upon the Brahmin, this Kausik. As Kausik was disturbed, he got angry and he looked up. And with anger, when he looked at the female crane, it dropped down and died there. So, but when he died, Kausik's heart was filled with compassion. He thought that I am a yogi and I control my senses, but out of the anger, as I looked it, poor fellow died here. However, he felt bad, but by that time the bird was already dead. So now Kausik every time was collecting alms from the nearby villages. So one day he went to the village. There, from house to house, he collected the alms. At last he went to one house where he stood there and said, "Give me some alms." And immediately he heard a voice. He heard a female voice saying, "Oh sannyasi, oh yogi, just wait, I am coming." And this much he heard and he waited there. And at that very moment, suddenly the owner of that house, means the husband of that lady, entered into the house. Now, as he was extremely hungry and tired, that lady gave him water first to wash his face and feet. Then she served him food because he was hungry. Then she stood by his side if anything more was required. After that, whatever was left, she was eating. That was her daily work, daily duty. Now, after finishing everything and asking to take rest to her husband, she remembered that she asked the yogi to wait. Then she was she was ready to give the alms at that time. The yogi by that time waited for a long time, so he got very angry. And he said, "How dare you to ask me wait? And such a long time I am waiting here and you are busy in some other work." Then the voice came from inside again, "Oh yogi, don't think that I am that female crane who died on the spot as you looked at her with anger." Then when the yogi heard this, he was stunned. He thought that how come this lady came to know? And however, he didn't say anything. And when the lady came with the alms, he then asked, how do you know that the female crane was dead? Then the lady said, "Oh sannyasi, I ask your forgiveness. I know that I told you to wait, but as my husband came and he was extremely hungry and He was tired. I had to do his work first. And every day, I think he is my highest God, supreme deity. So do my duty first, then I came. So forgive me for my mistake. And yes, oh yogi, just remember, I don't know any Vedas or Vedangas, or I'm not a learned fellow, but by the merit of this only I got this much of, uh, by my duty only, I got this much of merits. And oh sannyasi, just remember, to do service to my husband is my highest duty. So I never neglected in my duty at least. Maybe God is happy with that. As she said this, and with that the lady mentioned, Ki oh sannyasi, if you truly want to know, the sannyasi immediately said, Ki look, even the gods bow down their head before the Brahmins. And you know very well that I am a Brahmin and you should not ask me to wait. So the lady said, Ki oh sir, Brahmin, I don't know if anyone is by birth known as Brahmin. Brahmin are those who are generous, who are virtuous, who are learned, who had given up the concept of spiritual ignorance and also pride. They are known as Brahmins. Brahmins never thinks to give any injury to anyone, and they are learned. They are very compassionate. So, if I did something wrong, then forgive me. But don't think that if you look at me with wrath, I will be dead. Somehow, oh Lord, if you want to know something more about duty, then go to the Fowler in Mithila, who lives in Mithila. He will explain you. When she said this, the sannyasi was surprised. Immediately he changed his voice and said, Ki, oh pious lady, whatever it is, I agree what you said. You are a noble lady, there is no doubt. And why you are asking me to go to a Fowler? Then she said, Ki, oh Lord, if you want to know truly who a Brahmin is, then go to him. He will explain you. Thus, she directed the sannyasi to the Fowler. After taking the alms, the sannyasi came back to his own abode. There he again started his penances, his tapasya, whatever he was usually doing. And after that, he thought a while, that truly this lady is no doubt has some power. That means through her power of duty, she has got some supernatural power or knowledge. So as she told me to go to the Fowler, let me go and test him. So he went to Mithila, and after covering a long distance, he reached there. Mithila was well decorated, and everywhere everyone was busy in their own work. And at last, after searching a lot, he found that Fowler who was busy in his work. Now, this sannyasi, he didn't go to him close by. He stood a little distance away from his shop, and he stood there. Now, waited for him. Now, the Fowler was busy with the customers. He was giving the items, the flesh he caught at that time, and after finishing his work, immediately he came to this sannyasi and with joining hands said, oh sir, forgive me for as I know that that lady has sent you, and with what purpose you have come, that also I know. But as I was doing my duty, I couldn't come immediately. So forgive me for my mistake. Then the sannyasi again was surprised. Okay, what is this? What a marvel! How come this Fowler came to know that that lady has sent me to this place. Anyways, then that Fowler invited him to his own house, and there he gave him a seat. But when the sannyasi had taken his seat, this Fowler was busy doing his work, his duties to his parents, old parents. He again kept himself busy, and after finishing everything for his parents, he then came to him and attended him and again said very politely, "Oh sir, my parents are old and I have to, every day they were waiting for me. So and if I won't do my business, where from I will get the wealth to run my family? That is why after coming back immediately I do my duty first. So forgive me my mistake." Then the sannyasi said, "Oh Fowler, it looks that you are a wise man, but why you are following this profession?" Then the Fowler said, "Oh Lord, this profession is descended from my forefathers, and this is my duty. So there is nothing big, big or small in work, nothing low and great. So don't think that any work is either a great one or a low one. So I am doing my work properly and sincerely. And this is my profession. I know that killing is a sin. But this sin, everybody has to follow their life as per their karma. It is already, God has already decided that. Maybe God has decided this thing for me. But I am doing what my father was doing and his father was doing, like this. However, I do my duty sincerely and with heart." After telling so many things, then the sannyasi said, "Oh Fowler, just tell me, what do you know about Brahmin?" Then the Fowler said, "Oh Lord, Brahmins are those who had given up any type of pride or spiritual ignorance, and those who are virtuous follower of truth and righteous. They are known as Brahmin. And Brahmin always thinks the good for others, not any injury. And yes, as per my thinking, that there is nothing wrong, no work is bad, but only you have to do your duty sincerely." Like this, the sannyasi went on asking, and even the Fowler said, "Oh Lord, this Mithila, Janaka is the king, and he is such a good king that even his son will do any crime or any wrong deed, then he will put his son under his punishment. He is such a wise and noble king. So our kingdom, all the people are happy and we are living happily, peacefully." Like this, the Fowler went on saying about what a Brahmin means and what is a duty. Repeatedly he mentioned that no work is bad and no work is good. Your duty is duty. First you perform your duty well, then you think something else. However, this is a beautiful story because it is such a, it's a big one, lengthy one. I just told you precisely, and that too, the main theme of this story is work is not defined as big or low, or very good one or the small one. However, one must perform his duty sincerely and with heart. Then only you will get some merit. Anyways, thank you so much. Once again, I will meet you with some other story. And for the time being, thank you.